So I started using Plexus, it would be about 8 years ago now. So I started using Plexus when I came over to the AEMO forecasting team. Don't ask me what year that was because I won't be able to remember. But I spent a few years using it for reliability purposes. So that was when we were kind of in the infancy of moving to the MT parser model over to Plexus. So I was involved in that project. I also did a bit of stuff around the ESU. Then I moved over and used Plexus at AEMO for market design when I moved to that team. So that was kind of looking into what new rule changes, what the impact that would have on the market, if it would help reliability and things like that. So it was all kind of more research type modelling, I would say. And then since then I've been at Hydro Tasmania for about 3 years, and we use Plexus for price forecasting. So that would be short, medium and long term. So our short-term model is currently getting kicked off the ground at the moment, which is exciting, so kind of more for trading purposes. We have our medium-term model, which is more kind of for contracting purposes, and then we're also really utilising our long-term model for longer-term strategic decisions within the company. Yeah, so I did Plexus training when I first started AEMO, but that would have been a long time ago. I would say maybe 9 years ago. So that was at the Adelaide offices, which was great. It was a good introduction. We've recently just moved over to cloud. So the purpose of this was to really see what we can do with cloud, getting around the analytics, trying to sort out some of our, potential issues with some of our models at the moment. So the lab particularly was really useful over the last couple of days. So yeah, that's been really good. Honestly, for me, it was seeing some of the experts, just the way that they model, even just clicking around like the Plexus desktop, sometimes you pick up on things you're like, oh, I didn't know that you could do that. So seeing other people model has been great. Also networking. I mean, I've caught up with people from AEMO that I wouldn't have seen for a really, really long time. Spoken to other people in the industry about what they're using Plexus for. Obviously, especially when you're modelling at a company where you are specifically in that team for modelling and there's not a lot of modelling that happens outside that team, it can be a little bit harder to grow. So to talk to other experts in the field and talk about their challenges has been really beneficial. Even seeing some of the scientists talk this morning about the growth that they're expecting, potentially moving away from Cplex and things like that, and building that from the ground up within Plexus, learning about how they're going, learning about the different companies that Plexus operates in and how that's going as well. I think it's quite exciting, especially with all the movement in the AI space, knowing that Plexus is also moving forward to line up with that. It's a good question. I suppose there's obviously a lot that's happening within the Australian industry, particularly. I think there's a lot of challenges that obviously come with that. There are a few comments around saying, all forecasts are wrong by everyone, which, is known if you're a forecaster. I suppose, forecasting is supposed to be a guide, but how we deal with those challenges, into the future. There was some really good advice today. In terms of next year, it would be good to see some more diversity, particularly on the panels and things like that. I noticed that this morning. But aside from that, I would say there's been a good breadth of different topics today. And even some of the stuff around, I'm looking forward to the weather scenario modelling this afternoon. So just those industry, conversations are really beneficial.